Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I have a treat for you. I have got in front of me a couple, not quite a few, a couple of the brand new reformulation of Wet n Wild eyeshadow products. So recently Wet n Wild just reformulated and reshipped out and added to their ColorIcon trios and the 8-pan palettes. This is so exciting because the trios have become quads. I have been in love with the Wet n Wild trios now for years. I have panned. That is one thing I can pan over and over again, and I have bought them over and over again, are their trios, because they're so good for simple, quick, easy, yet stunning looks. Hands down, in my opinion, Wet n Wild has the best drugstore formula when it comes to eyeshadows. And these definitely are not disappointing. I have swatched them all for you. I've done side-by-side comparisons for you as well. Plus just a really quick how I put this eye look together today using one of my favorite of the old trios, now quads. So let's get into this.
Wasted, my heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing, keep your words naked. You got me.
So now that you've seen the swatches side by side, let me show you real quickly how I got this eye look today. So first thing I did was I went ahead and primed my eyelids. I set them using the white chocolate shade from my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So now we're going to go into the Silent Treatment palette and hit the top color here, which is called Transition, and throw that all throughout the crease and the transition area. For this, I'm using my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. This is what I always use for this. And yes, it does have tape because I'm cheap and won't go out and buy a new one. Now it really is all about brushes and eyeshadow. I'm now going to go into the crease, still using that transition color. I'm using this on my SML Miss Glam blending brush, and I got this from Ipsy a long time ago. You see that by using a little bit firmer and more densely packed brush that it actually distributes the color a little bit deeper in this area. I'm now going to take the shade that is marked Eyelid. I'm taking that on my Luxie 239. This is a precision shader brush, and we're going to sweep that all across the lid. You can absolutely foil this shadow. I have done that before in the past. It comes out stunningly beautiful. But with this, what I want to do is first I swept it on. Now I'm going to go back and pack it on the lid and give it a little bit more of a punch. I'm now going to take the very deep shade here that is marked Crease. I'm going to just put that on the outer corner and blend it just slightly up into the crease. For that, I'm actually going to use my ring finger to tap it on, and then I'm going to use my Lab Squared Just Blending In brush to kind of help blend and buff that in. Now I'm going to dip back into this transition shade again. I'm going to be using my Luxie 207, which is a medium angled shading brush. And I'm just going to go back in through the crease and the transition area again, just to help blend in that deeper outer corner color. Now I'm going to highlight the brow bone and the tear duct. For that, I'm going into the shade that is marked Brow Bone. I'm using that on my e.l.f. concealer brush, just this tiny little brush. And I'm going to tap that on the inner corners. And I'm going to take a fluffier brush. This is my Bogashi smudge brush. Tap that in there ever so lightly, tap off really well, and just run that along the arch of the brow bone. Now I'm going to go down and do just a little bit of work on the lower lash line. I'm going to go back with my Luxie 221. This is the flat definer brush. Dip into the shade marked Crease color and just put that on the outside corners of my lower lash line. Now I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics Smoky Liner brush. It's a nice pencil brush. I'm going to dip into the transition color and just drag that along the lower lash line as well. Then I finish off the look with a little bit of mascara. I'm using the CoverGirl Supersizer on the bottom, L'Oreal Lash Paradise Voluminous on the top, and that's it. That is your finished, quick, easy, and simple eye look. So I am so excited for this, but I will have to say I have a couple of when it does come to these. But first, let's talk about the big one, Comfort Zone. This is probably the most iconic of their palettes. This used to be an 8-pan palette. Now it is a 10-pan palette. This is, I think, every YouTuber, I think, owns this palette and will refer to it when they say, hey, I'm looking for a good drugstore palette. What should I get? This is the one I refer to. So the only difference that I saw between these two when I was swatching them and going through them would be the brow bone shade up here, this more kind of buttery pearlescent shade, and this one here, which is considered shade number 2. Shade number 2, little bit powdery, little bit. Not bad, not anything you can't work with, but not as like creamy right out the gate as this one was. It's a little bit powdery from the get-go, and that kind of becomes a theme with these. So I wonder if that's what changed in the formulation. Next cult class that we're going to come up with, Walking on Eggshells. Again, another one of those, everybody has this one. This is perfect for your everyday neutral eye look. You will see here that they have transformed the layout of the palettes. One, you have this beautiful matte transition shade up here. Then you've got what's considered your crease, your brow bone, and your eyelid shade here. You can see now they've made the eyelid shade much bigger. They've made the brow bone and the crease a little bit smaller, and they've made the transition nice and large too. That's important. You are getting the exact same amount of product plus. And how I'll explain that is, before you used to get 3 shades, and this was 0.12 ounces or 3.5 grams. Now you're getting 4 shades, and it's 0.16 ounces. So you're getting just a little bit more, but you are getting another color in here. But what they have done is they've increased this, they've increased that, and they've lessened those two just a little bit. And that's fine, because those are the shades you're going to use the least. It makes sense. I love that. Again, with the brow bone shade, a little powdery. Just, like I said, not terrible, not bite, nothing you can't work with, but not as creamy, just slightly powdery. Other than that, excellent. Next up in the pack, Sweet as Candy. This is my favorite one for when I'm going to do a pink and chocolate look. This is the one I always gravitate to. Spot on, same colors, same great thing. I'm loving this, guys. I'm loving this. Now I have just a bit of a disappointing one, and I'm so disappointed in it. This is the one I used in the demo today. This is Silent Treatment. This has always been my favorite for doing a glitzy, what I call glitzy smoky eye. Now, this one, oddly, brow bone shades perform just about the same. Just about. I don't think, actually, they're pretty much spot on the same thing. Little chunky on that one. This one was always chunky too, but I kind of like that because that is my favorite for the inner corner and just to fluff it lightly up on the brow bone. I don't want anything too shiny up there. What's disappointing in this is the eyelid shade. It is definitely not as pigmented, and you really have to pack this one on. Like, for instance, here we go with one swipe here as opposed to one swipe here. This one even feels harder. The formula in this one on the eyelid shade is, I mean, it's like butter when you wipe your finger through it. I mean, it's just butter. I mean, you could see that. But this one, it's a little hard to the touch, and I really kind of have to work at it to get it out. But once I do, and once I build it up, it's pretty spot on with its sister next door to it. Another little thing I noticed is there are a couple of new ones that they added to the line. I haven't got those yet because I kind of want to do this and get this out of the way first before being overwhelmed with everything else. Couple of things I noticed though that they did not add, and that is 3 of the ColorIcon trios, which are Spoiled Brat, I'm Getting Sunburned, and then one of my favorites, Don't Steal My Thunder. This is my favorite one to use for that smoky eye because this silver shadow in here is just amazing. I did not see Petal Pusher in the line. If you remember, you had Comfort Zone, you had Petal Pusher, which was all of the lavenders and the plums. However, what I did see up there, and it kind of threw me off, is the Au Naturel palette in Nude Awakening, but it was set up like this. So pretty much that wraps up everything that Wet n Wild is launching right now when it comes to the ColorIcon eyeshadows. I do know there is more to come, and I promise as soon as I get my hands on it, I will let you guys all know what I think about it, give you some swatches, demos, whatever I can for it. But what do I have to say about this? Well, they kept the cost the same. The trios are still $2.99. The 8 pans are $4.99. This is the most affordable and best, like, you know, discount store. Can't say the other word anymore. You'll get demonetized. So this is some of the best stuff from the discount store that you can get your hands on. I put a lot of these right up next to high-end shadows. There are high-end shadows that I own that do not perform as well as some of these shadows, so it's definitely my favorite. If you're new to them, then please, I say go out and give it a try. Walgreens always has them on sale. They either have them $1 off, or buy one get one free, or buy one get one half off. Most of the time it's $1 off, so then you're talking $2, and you're gonna get one of these quads, which is a complete eye look. You know, I mean, for $2, and it's such good quality. So that's what I have for you today. That is my rundown on the new reformulation of the Wet n Wild ColorIcon eyeshadows. As always, I want to thank you, of course, for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. Make sure that you enjoyed this video to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up to let me know. Also, before you leave, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming videos I have here for you. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.